to Reading with Ray. Desiree does not look too super excited today, even though we are starting a new book. She doesn't even look at the camera. But I'm here and I'm excited about our book. Hi everybody, I'm Renee. I'm the children's librarian at Salem Public Library. Oh no, right down there. There we go. I am the children's librarian at Salem Public Library in Salem, Ohio. And this is our virtual book club, Reading with Ray, for kids in kindergarten through 3rd grade. They all are welcome to read along with us. We are ready to start our 3rd book. So we're on Inspector Flytrap. Book number 3, The Goat Who Chewed Too Much. I'm going to assume that's about Nina. And this is by Tom Engelberger and Cece Bell. So a big thanks to Tom and Cece, as well as Abrams Publishing, for allowing us to use this book this way. You can see I've got my other co-host is taking a nap up here behind me. He's very sleepy today. It's kind of a cold, rainy day. It's not a bad day to snuggle in for a nap and a good story, actually. So you can, if you want to read along with me, and I highly, highly recommend you do, because this book has great illustrations and little comics all the way through that are kind of hard to share out loud through this medium. So I recommend that you get a copy of this book so you can follow along with me. This is available through Hoopla. You can get Hoopla through the library and get a digital copy of it. There's no limit to how many people can have it checked out at one time. So everybody that wants to follow along with me is more than welcome to. And this is book number 3, Inspector Flytrap number 3, The Goat Who Chewed Too Much. If you are just now joining us, this is book number 3 in a series. I highly recommend you go back 2 weeks and start with book 1 and catch up before you join us on the new ones. Just because there's a lot of the jokes and stuff that are in this book, I don't think are going to make sense. We've revisited a lot of the old characters from the first 2 books in this one. So definitely go back and read those if you're not. This is the last book in the series, so we're going to finish it up this week. And I would love some suggestions on what books or what type of thing you might want to see next. Do you want to continue with funny books? Do you want fantasy, mystery? Let me know what you guys are looking for, and I will see what I can find for us. It does need, I've got some restrictions on that, but let's get started. If you remember the end of book 2, let me think if I can remember what happened. My goodness. Nina and Inspector Flytrap. Oh, it was the giant statue of the president, President Horse G. Horse, and he'd made that giant statue of himself, and the giant fly came because it wanted giant horse poop. So they had to scare him away with the giant Venus Flytrap statue, which Nina then ate, because Nina eats just about everything. So they had solved that mystery, and my buddy Griffin is here, and nobody ever gets to see Griffin. Flip the camera again. Here he is. He doesn't have his own book club, but he likes to be a part of it. He's a good boy. Okay. All right, so now we are ready to read. Inspector Flytrap number 3, The Goat Who Chewed Too Much. And let's get started. Part 1, Inspector Flytrap in The Taking of Pickles, 1, 2, 3. There's just it. Great illustrations, so definitely get yourself a copy of the book to follow along with. Chapter 1, my phone rang. Hello, I said, Flytrap Detective Agency. A gruff voice started barking questions at me. You solve mysteries, right, bud? I'm not a bud. I am a fully grown Venus Flytrap, I replied. A Venus Flytrap? Isn't that one of those plants that can eat flies? Yes, I replied. I eat flies, and I also solve mysteries. But I only solve the world's greatest mysteries. Huh? Growled a voice. I want to be the world's greatest detective, so I've decided to solve only the world's greatest mysteries. From now on, is your mystery one of the world's greatest mysteries? Well, let me put the voice. We're putting on a dog show, and someone stole an invitation to compete in it. I said, that sounds more like a paperwork problem than one of the world's greatest mysteries. I'm sorry, but I can't help you. Please, howled the voice. Okay, I'll keep my eyes open for it. You have eyes? I thought you were a plant. Yes, I'm a plant with eyes, a mouth, and leafy hands. Now, all right, here's the diagram of him. Now, what about feet? Do you have feet? No, I have roots, I said. Then how do you go around investigating mysteries? Well, it's none of your business. But I have a goat who pushes me on a skateboard. I said, now, if you'll excuse me, that goat is about to eat my new necktie. Goodbye. You have a neck? I hung up. Nina, please stop eating my tie, I said. It was very expensive. Big deal, said Nina, but she stopped. Can you believe that person called me about a missing piece of paper? Paper, said Nina. Nina the goat is my assistant. She pushes me around so I can solve crimes. She is a goat. Goats are famous for eating almost anything, but for Nina, there is no almost. She eats everything. Plastic buckets, metal cans, glass bottles, straw hats, wooden cabinets, cotton underwear, and whatever it is telephones are made of. She really seems to like that. In fact, there's a little cartoon up here, and the guy says, please don't eat the underpants. Nina, stop eating the telephone. It can ring at any second with news of a brand new world's greatest mystery for me to solve. Big meal. Chapter 2. My phone rang. Hello, I said. Flytrap Detective Agency. A very fancy voice started bossing me around. Flytrap, you must come down to the train station right away. My pickle paperweight has been stolen. Sorry, I said. I have already found missing pickle paperweights twice before. What is with the pickle paperweights? Now that I am solving only the world's greatest mysteries, I cannot waste any more time on pickle paperweights. But this is the world's greatest pickle paperweight, the fancy voice insisted. It's a solid gold pickle that's encrusted with emeralds, diamonds, and moon rocks, and I recently bought it for $100 million. That's quite some paperweight. I'll be right there, I said and hung up. Nina, the game is afoot. We have a world's greatest mystery to solve. Big deal, said Nina, swallowing the rest of my tie. Chapter 3. The world's greatest detective needs to look good, so I put on a new tie. Then Nina helped me onto my skateboard and began pushing me to the train station. Normally it's pretty scary when she pushes me through the city because she is not as careful of traffic as she should be. I have nearly been run over by cars, trucks, buses, and once a nut on roller skates. But this time everybody stopped to let us pass because they could hear us coming. Squeak, squeak, squeak. Nina, I shouted, one of the skateboard wheels is squeaking. Big squeal, agreed Nina. Well, I said, I think it's more of a squeak. What should we do about it? Eat it? Asked Nina. No, I shouted. Then we'll never get to the train station to solve the mystery of the world's greatest pickle paperweight. We're there, interrupted Nina. She stopped the skateboard so quickly that my pot went flying across the train station and landed sideways in front of a very fancy poodle. Greetings, said the very fancy poodle. I am the Countess Zuzu Poodledoo, and you must be the world's greatest detective. I'm working on it, I said, struggling to get my pot upright. And, now I am working on your case. My butler will help you, said the Countess. The butler, a very serious-looking chihuahua, picked me up, dusted off my pot, and placed it back on my skateboard. Thank you, I said. Also, I apologize for the fact that my goat is eating your top hat. Very good, sir, said the butler, very properly putting the half-eaten hat back on his head. My name is Inspector Flytrap, and this is my assistant, Nina the goat. She's a goat. Very good, sir, said the butler, very politely. My name is MC Funkyfoot, and I am at your service. MC Funkyfoot seems like a strange name for a butler, I said. My parents always dreamed that I would be a rap star, said MC Funkyfoot. Mr. Funkyfoot, would you please stop talking about things other than my pickle paperweight? Screeched the Countess. Inspector Flytrap needs to get right to work. Very good, ma'am, MC Funkyfoot said, and I said at the same time. I just arrived by train, said the Countess, but my world's greatest pickle paperweight was stolen during the trip. Your job is to find it, so get busy. I could tell already that the Countess liked for things to go her way, and her way only. I hoped she wouldn't notice that Nina was eating the flowers off her hat. Chapter 4. And now, said the Countess, my personal policewoman will tell you about the crime. Yo, I'm Sergeant Sniff, said a tough-looking Pekingese. See, the Countess just bought the gold pickle in Fancitonia. Then we brought it back here on his choo-choo. You mean the train? Yes. I wish you wouldn't call it a choo-choo, I said. It is a fine example of a mountain-type 484 streamlined steam-powered Z-Class standard gauge New York and Montreal Express locomotive. One of the most advanced machines ever built. Oh, Flytrap knows a lot about trains, apparently. Big wheel, said Nina, nibbling at a brake line. Nina, no! Don't eat the train's brake lines. Flytrap, yapped the Countess. Would you please focus on my pickle paperweight? Oh, yes, of course, I said. Where is it? It's missing, you fool! Sorry, I meant, where was it? This way, said Sergeant Sniff. It was locked inside this armored boxcar before we left Fancitonia. She pointed to a boxcar with thick walls. It looked like a big bank safe on wheels. The door was open, and I noticed cameras and laser beams inside. When we pulled into the station, the gold pickle was gone, continued Sergeant Sniff. The thief struck while the choo-choo was choo-chooing down the choo-choo track. What about the cameras and the laser beam alarms? Didn't they catch the thief? Obviously not, said Sergeant Sniff, glaring at me. The cameras only picked up a blur, and the thief somehow dodged all the laser beams. Nina, please wheel me over so I can have a closer look, I said. Nina pushed me over to the boxcar, way too fast as usual. Then I jumped up on the back of the locomotive and started eating the coal. I said, examining the floor of these boxcar. Look at these scratches. Are these dog claw marks? They are claw marks, but not from a dog, said Sergeant Sniff. The police lab said they were made by something bigger and tougher than a dog claw. Who else was on the train? Just us, said Sergeant Sniff. The Countess and I were the only passengers, and MC Funkyfoot was driving the train. So, I said, if the thief wasn't on the train when it left the first station and wasn't on the train when it got to this station, then he must have gotten aboard the train while it was moving, stolen the pickle, and gotten back off again. Isn't that what I said a minute ago? Snarled Sergeant Sniff. The choo-choo bandit got on the choo-choo while it was choo-chooing from the choo-choo station. Aha! I interrupted. I have solved the world's greatest mystery. And that is where we're going to stop for today. So bigger and stronger than dog claws. It left claw marks on the floor. Can you think of what kind of animal has bigger and stronger claws than a dog? I've got two dogs sitting right here with me, and I mean their claws are enough to scratch like me, but they wouldn't scratch a hard floor. So it's got to be something pretty big and pretty strong. So I want you guys to think about what might be stronger than that. Also, I want to go back to this paperweight thing. Why would you spend $100 million on a paperweight? Paperweights are important because otherwise, like I've had my windows open when it's been nice out and my papers will blow away. But you could usually find something else a little less expensive. In fact, you could probably go out in your garden and find a rock, wash it up, and use that to hold down your papers. I'm just not sure we need to buy what it was encrusted with gold and moon rocks and all kinds of stuff. That emeralds, diamonds, and moon rocks. That seems, and it's solid gold. That thing would be very heavy. It seems a little unnecessary to me. But I don't know, maybe I'm just not a paperweight expert. All right, so I will see you guys tomorrow where we will pick up reading and we're going to find out who stole the solid gold, emerald, diamond, and moon rock paperweight from the fancy poodle. And we'll solve the mystery then. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.